There's only one real reason you're not losing weight. And after helping many people lose weight, I see the same mistake over and over again. And all you need to understand is this one concept. And once you finally get this one concept down, you'll be able to lose weight consistently and reach your goal weight that you've been after for so long. All without restricting your diet to the point you're eating nothing, doing excessive cardio, or skipping multiple meals throughout the day. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. The thing is, the most important part when it comes to losing weight is understanding your calories, because ultimately your calories are going to be what dictates your weight. So if you don't know how many calories you need to be eating, then it's going to be very hard for you to come up with a real plan to lose weight. So the first step that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go online to a calorie calculator. You can just type it in on Google. There's one by calculator.net. And we're going to enter our age, our height, our weight, and our activity level. Just a side note, a lot of people tend to overestimate their activity level. So just keep that in mind. And then it is going to tell us our maintenance calories once we put in that information. And the reason that this is important is because it gives us a benchmark to where we can then adjust our calories depending on how we are trying to change our weight. If you are trying to lose weight, you are going to want to decrease your calories under that maintenance calorie number. And we actually have a nice rule of thumb to be able to dictate how fast we are going to lose weight. A pound of fat is roughly 3,500 calories. So if we wanted to lose a pound a week, that means that we would eat 500 calories less than we need every day. And that would add up to losing a pound a week. If we wanted to lose 2 pounds a week, then we would eat 1,000 calories less than our maintenance calories, so on and so forth. And the reverse applies for gaining weight. If you wanted to gain half a pound a week, then you would eat 500 calories over that number. So now that we have an idea of how we can manipulate our calories to determine how fast we want to lose weight, there actually is a right answer for how fast we should lose weight. And that is for the average healthy person. If you're a little bit overweight, just trying to lose some weight, or even if you have a little bit of extra fat to the point where you might get some loose skin, the right answer for how fast you should lose weight is typically around 1 pound a week. This is going to be fast enough where you're still going to make great results and you're going to lose weight very quickly. But it is also slow enough to where you avoid a lot of the negatives that come with dieting too hard or restricting your calories too hard, like insane cravings, messed up sleep, low energy levels, loose skin if you are fat enough to have that. So we'll want to go at a moderate weight loss pace. That way we can get good results quickly, but avoid some of the pitfalls that come with going too fast. But you can't really just talk about calories without talking about food. And food seems to be one of the most complicated parts of this. Obviously, understanding your calories is on the easier side, but when it comes to actually putting it into practice and choosing what foods you should eat, it ends up becoming a little bit of a different story. A big reason why people seem to struggle when it comes to the food part is they don't get the concept of caloric density, right? And all that means is how much calories for the amount of food you're eating. So typically your junk food is going to be calorically dense, right? Like your chips, your Oreos, all of that stuff. It's not filling, it's super tasty, it's super easy to overeat, and it has an absurdly high amount of calories, right? So much so to the point where, like, if you eat, let's just say 6, 7, 8 bags of like those small chips, that would probably be enough for most people to maintain their weight. But if you ate that for all of your food throughout the day, you would still feel hungry because it's not filling, it's not satiating, right? So if you get the advice, eat less, move more, and you're eating a lot of junk food or calorically dense food, you get disheartened because you're already eating so little and you're not being able to get that number to go down. But there is a solution for this, and that is to eat high volume, low calorie foods. And all this means is foods that you can eat a lot of without there being very many calories in them. A few examples of this would be like chicken breast, eggs, berries, citrus fruits, vegetables. There's a whole lot of them, and I could sit here all day naming them. But these are things you can eat a lot of. They are very filling, and if you had to eat only them, you probably would struggle to eat your maintenance calories of them alone, right? For example, Greek yogurt, if you get 0% fat Greek yogurt, it's around 70 calories per serving. If you had to eat like 2 of those large 5-serving containers of Greek yogurt, you would struggle to do it because it is so much food. You would legitimately get full and probably sick if you tried to eat the whole thing. So when it comes to figuring out how to eat less calories, it doesn't mean we need to eat less food. We actually want to figure out a way to eat more food while eating less calories. And that is where these high volume, low calorie foods come in. They allow us to eat a lot more, to feel a lot more full, and they make the process of losing weight that much more enjoyable because we're not starving all the time. We don't feel like we're having to restrict ourselves to the point where we can't eat anything, right? We are actually eating filling large meals for all of our meals throughout the day. And the way to make it even more enjoyable is just to strike a balance. Like, you don't have to exclusively only eat high volume, low calorie foods. And that also doesn't mean you can't eat any calorically dense foods. It's just finding that balance. If you want to have a little bit of junk food in your calories, that's okay, but it's keeping in mind that these aren't calories that are going to make you feel satiated. They're not going to make you feel full, and it's just going to be something that maybe is to curb a craving, which in and of itself is a valid way to go about dieting. Managing cravings is definitely a big part of it, but the thing is, you want to structure your nutrition in a way where you are eating enough food that you feel full, you don't feel like you're starving, and that you are managing your cravings and eating food that you find enjoyable, which could mean that you just eat these high volume, low calorie foods, but then you use sauces and seasonings, and you still have to count the calories on those, but you just use those to make the food taste the way that you like, so you're getting that high volume in, you're getting a little bit of, that junk or just higher calorie things that make things tasty, which a lot of sauces are, and you get the best of all worlds. You're maintaining your calories, you're going for that number, you're feeling full, and you're eating food that you enjoy, and you're losing weight. So it's a win-win all around. And the last piece of this, it's not a permanent addition, but definitely tracking your calories, at least for a little bit, or becoming more cognizant and doing rough tracking of your calories is going to be monumental in helping you develop better habits around eating that will make it to where you can lose weight consistently whenever you want. A lot of the reason that most people struggle with weight loss is they just don't grasp the concept of calories, and that food have different calories, and the amount of food you eat doesn't mean that there's an equal proportion of calories spread between them, right? Like, you could eat 2 whole chicken breasts, and that would most likely be less calories than 2 servings of Oreos, right? Which is crazy. 2 whole chicken breasts is going to be pretty filling. 4 Oreos are not going to do that much for you, right? So just going through, and for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, just going ahead and tracking, or at least just looking at nutrition labels and just going in your notes app and putting them on your phone. You don't even have to weigh it out, but just guesstimating. And you're going to get a real idea for how much you're eating calorie-wise and what foods are worth what amount of calories. So you start to develop this sense of being able to regulate the food that you eat throughout the day without having to worry about tracking. You've just got this internal tracker going, and you're pretty spot on. So that way you can make adjustments and you can eat more things you like while still being able to lose weight. To recap this all, calories are really important. You need to know your maintenance calories, and you need to know this so you can then eat less than that to be able to lose weight, because a calorie deficit is the only way that you are ever going to lose weight. And once we have this down, we do need to choose better foods to be able to help us make this a sustainable and enjoyable process. So we're going to want to have a heavier shift towards more high volume, low calorie foods that are more filling, and then adding in some different ways of flavoring these foods, or just implementing some junk here and there and still making those high volume, low calorie foods meals that we enjoy, but just striking a nice balance of eating food that we enjoy, controlling our calories, and feeling full. And finally, we just want to start tracking roughly, looking at nutrition labels, getting an idea of how much calories are in different things. That way we can start to build this habit of self-regulating and have our own internal tracker of how many calories we're eating going on autopilot. That way we can make sure that we are following the actions we need to take to be able to reach the goal of losing weight. If you enjoyed this video, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.